Hello students, myself Dr. Neha Solanki. Today we'll be discussing about people's role in service marketing. Now as we all know that there are 7 P's in service marketing, that is product, price, place, promotion, people, process and physical evidence. So we'll be taking them all one by one, but today the focus would be on people's role in service firms. Now, what do you mean by people here in a service undertaking or in a service firm? From this word people, we understand the employees who are basically responsible for managing the delivery of this service. As it defines that the people element in the service marketing mix refers to all of the human beings who play a part in service delivery and thus influence the buyer's perceptions. They are the employees. Now, whenever you are going for availing a service, first of all, you need to explain your requirements to a certain individual. Basically, they are the front office people to whom you go, you tell your requirements, and according to your requirements they suggest you the services that you should be availing. At times you are aware of your requirements, at times you are just aware of your problems, and as a solution to it they are the ones who suggest that what service you should be availing. In that case, the role of this element, people element, becomes all the very more important. The frontline service employees are most important for the success of the firm. The employees create satisfied customers and build customer relationships. Front office employees are responsible for understanding customer needs and for interpreting customer requirements in real time. So, to simplify the thing, that whenever there is a problem, whenever you confront a problem, you want to avail a service, you visit the place, you explain your requirements, and as a result of it, they are the ones who would be suggesting you the solutions to your problem. Now, let's take an example wherein the front office person fails to understand your requirement. So, the very first initial step has itself gone wrong. So, do you think in this case you would be getting the services which you actually intended to get? No, the answer would be no. You would not be getting the perfect solution to your problem because the person who was responsible for understanding your problem has failed to do it. So now you understand why it is so very important that the employees of a service firm should be empathetic. They should understand the customer requirements well, because they are the very first interaction that a customer is having with the service firm. So if that first interaction goes wrong, then the whole service experience will go wrong. Other than these employees, at certain times customer participation is also inevitable in service delivery. Barring a few exceptions, in most of the cases customer participation is also required, and as a result the customer also plays unique role in service delivery situations. So customer part we'll be taking further. First of all, let us focus on the service employees. Now, why these service employees are so very important? Because they are the brand and marketers for the service. Take it this way that in a service industry, there are no physical tangible goods, or there are no tangible products that you can touch, that you can feel, that you can avail. It is all in the experience. It is all in the it is not something that can be touched and experienced. It is something to feel. So here a customer draws clues from various things. So from the physical ambience, also from the service experience ambience, from the service settings ambience, we draw the clues. From the person's behavior we draw the clues. From the type of the service escape, from that also we draws the clues, and accordingly we frame our experience of a given service. So if I say that, were you satisfied with the services provided at a dentist place, understand my problems, and was they cooperative, was the doctor listening to me and not just pushing every patient from here to there. you know these are the different things from which you are drawing your clues, and you are making an impression about the service experience. So employees form a very important role in it. So from these employees part also you will be drawing the clues, making an impression of the brand and the marketing itself. Now, other than the first point, that they are the brand and marketers for the service, second is their behavior frames customer perception of service quality, as what we have already discussed, that how they are behaving impacts to a great extent on how a customer perceives the received service. Then, other than that, there are five dimensions of service quality, that is reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and tangibles. They all are directly influenced by service employees. Other than that, only satisfied employees can make satisfied customers. So let's take an example wherein where the employees are not satisfied. So do you think they'll be putting up efforts in satisfying a customer? No. The answer is no. If the On the other hand, if the employees are satisfied, they will certainly be putting all possible efforts to make the customers satisfied. Next would be that they are the ones who basically understand the customer requirements. Because if you are going for a doctor's visit, or if you are going for a salon, so you first have an interaction with the front office people. You make them aware of their problems, and accordingly, they are the first ones who would be listening to your problem, who would be suggesting you the possible solutions. Certainly you will be going, next step would be is that you are going to the service provider, and he is the one who's actually giving the service, who's actually understanding. But in understanding your requirement, these people are also very important, because they are the ones who would be initially suggesting you the multiple options that you can avail from. Other than that is their friendliness, courtesy, responsiveness goes a long way in building customer relationships. So fair enough, we understand this point. Now, what are the things that should be kept in mind to create a workforce that would be customer oriented, that would be service minded? Because people play a very important role in service industry. They may not be directly providing the service to you, but they impact to a very large extent. So how we can be rest assured that our sales force is service minded, our sales force is customer oriented? So a few steps that a firm should take is hire the right set of people who have the right set of qualification, and the behavioral part. uh, there should be a proper match between the job specification and job description. Then develop people to deliver service quality. They should be trained in such a manner that they are capable enough of delivering service quality. Provide them with the needed support system. Also, motivate them whenever and wherever you are feeling that they are falling short of the standards. Motivate them to perform better. Always try to retain the best people, because recruiting is one part, training is another, but retaining is most important. Why? because the experience that an old employee carries with himself cannot be replaced by an even further well qualified individual. So, if you are having a sales force that is having the right set of knowledge, who is developed properly, who's trained properly, who's motivated, who has the needed support, and you are capable of retaining these best people with your firm, then there is no looking back, and you can be rest assured that your service firm would be reaching heights of success. Other than this employees part, there were another set of people who influence the service setting, and they are the customers. The service audience that comprises of the customers receiving the service and other customers in the service environment contribute to the service outcome through appropriate or inappropriate, effective or ineffective, productive or unproductive behavior. So now, in customers part also, there are two set of individuals: one who's availing the service, and the other set of individuals who are just watching them, or who are just present in that service setup. So, how is the behavior of both set of customers is also very important. In many service contexts, customers receive the service simultaneously with other customers, or they have to wait for their turn. Either ways, the presence of other customers affect the service delivery process and its outcomes. When other customers exhibit disruptive behavior, cause delays, overuse crowd, and complain of on incompatible needs, it negatively affects the service experience. Certainly, that supposingly you went to a salon, and you are waiting for your turn for a haircut, and there is another person who is getting the service before you. That person was getting the service, and now that person is complaining that I did not like this service part, or I did not like the equipments that you have used for my haircut, or this design was not, or this style was not what I wanted. Then certainly it will impact you. Now you become dicey as to, are you sure you want to avail this service from this very salon, or you want to move ahead to or you want to move and go to a certain other parlor. So, this ways customers also have a bearing on the service. Now, there are three set of participation in service industries. There could be low customer participation, as in case of airlines. There could be moderate customer participation, if we take an example of a restaurant, wherein you just have to give your requirements, the person is preparing it, and you eat it, and that's all. And there could be high customer participation in case of personal training. The level and nature of customer participation in the service process are strategic decisions that can impact a firm's productivity, its competitive positioning, service quality, and customer satisfaction. In order to have successful customer participation, strategies may be outlined as to what would be the customer's job. You should strategize to define it in front of the customers that this is your job. How you have to educate and reward the customers, such strategies should also be outlined. Other than that, you need to have strategies to manage the customers mix, because both the things are very much important. The people from within the service organization are important. The people who would be a part of the service organization during the process or after the process are also important. So this ways you can say that in a service setup, in forming the impression about the service quality, there are two set of people which are very important. That is the employees of the service firm and the customers who are availing or who are waiting for their turn for availing the service firm's experience.